So now you can start just a minute. Welcome back to our Employee Central learning sessions. So today's topic I'll covering more towards concept of a business rules. Okay. So why business rules are required. Okay. So any idea before we proceed? Just why any guess?
Uh, uh, well, like any other system or like any other application rules are where you define the customer's preferences.
Exactly. And what is
So
the
you build,
equivalent? What is the equivalent in on-premise? Any?
yeah. Well, in on-premise is where this is where you define the configuration
Yeah.
and if need be, probably if the vanilla system is not enough, then you can then maybe do some customization that will make you start writing some functional specifications.
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. That is what I was looking for. Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, whatever the standard out of box or off the shelf, whatever is available, and
Yes.
the system, if that doesn't cater to the customer requirement, definitely, if it is with higher importance, then definitely you have to customize certain things. Okay. So that was
Yes.
as usual in the on-premise. We used to have all those RISE-FW objects comes into picture
Yes.
there, and we
Yes.
have to write functional specification as a functional consultant, and we hand over it to the technical consultant ABAP. Then they used to write some coding and some kind of enhancement, some kind of BADI, BEPI, all those things they used to do. Then they hand over to us after doing the unit testing and all. But when it comes to success factor, the picture is different here. So we do not have ABAP coding here in the success factor. Everything is anything you like to customize to some extent, you can do it using the concept of business rules. Okay.
Okay.
So if someone asks business rules, is it limited to Employee Central? No. So it is a platform functionality once again, success factor, entire platform. So some of the modules like your recruiting management, onboarding 2.0, some come. So there are certain modules which were exactly we write these business rules and we can control those objects. Okay. So that is the overall idea of a business rules to customize to some extent. Okay. So that is the overall idea. It is clear, right? What is the business rules, right?
Yes.
Why we require it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now with that understanding, so again, as I was telling, it is a very powerful functionality which can be used to fulfill most of the customer requirement. It is related to area for your, it can be your employee central, employee related data, time off, means your time management module, time off, time sheet, or any kind of transactions happening in the employee central, or it can be also related to the workflow. Okay, so these are different categories where exactly you can manipulate and you can write business rules to customize. Okay, and the typical requirement can be like if this data, just given a, I'll giving a scenario, if the particular data is changed in a specific way, then the system should respond in that way. There should be some trigger. Okay, those kind of things will generally are actually controlled by or can be designed by business rules. Okay, so these are all these are runtime. Okay, so whenever suppose there is an employee separation is happening. Okay, so suppose there is an employee offboarding, we call it offboarding in success factor. Okay, so if there is a resignation is happening, automatically in the runtime the manager should be getting an email notification. Okay, so that kind of trigger can be designed using this business rules. That is just a given example. And this is clear, right? The second paragraph which I talked about, the
Yep.
logic. Hmm? Any
Okay.
question?
No.
Okay. So basically, whenever you are creating these business rules, actually in the system itself, the depending upon your configuration or the writing, whatever you have written the business rules, okay. So that will set accordingly, it will work, and how it will behave. So it is all depends upon the rule engine. So there is a inbuilt rule engine inside the system. Okay. So whatever rules you are writing, accordingly it will work, trigger and all. How will we navigate? So navigation path is this one. From admin center, company setting, the transaction is configure business rules. Simply, you can type out configure business rules, and you can start a new business rules by going there. Okay. So this is the introduction of the business rules. And to explain more in details, actually what I have done a good job for you. I put a lot of effort. So almost 100 business rules I have crafted for you.
Oh, oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
So I took entire almost, I was free today and a little bit, and 3 4 hours I put
Okay.
it across. So
Thank
I
you.
will not be going through all the 100 business rules, but I will
Yeah.
just tell you the how I have written that business rules and what is the purpose of that business rules and how it looks like. Okay, so this is how it looks like, the typical business rules. And similarly, I do have 100 business rules, but I will not be going each and individual. Rather, I'll some targeted business rules I will explain. Okay, but this entire deck I will give to you so that you will be going
Oh,
through each
thank
and everything, and it will be
thank you.
more than enough. Okay, so from my
Okay.
all my previous experience, whatever I have collected, so
Yes.
from my, that captured everything in one particular this particular deck, especially for you only I've designed it. Okay, I have never, I was a lazy little before
Oh,
I was,
wow.
I had these things in my mind to
Yes.
keep it in one place so that it will be reusable and for the entire success factor community people, all the people who
Yes.
will be taking advantage of it. But I never
Oh, thank
drafted. But today I just finalized that. Anyway, I will be teaching it, and also at the same time I will draft it.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So before
Yes.
we go to the individual business rules, let's go to the system first, and we will be seeing some of the existing business rules in our sales demo instance. Okay, the
Yeah.
demo instance, whatever the business rules, okay, that we will be seeing that. Okay, so let me go to the system and let me know if you are able to see my system. Can you
Yes,
see?
I can see.
Yeah. So let me go to the admin center.
Company settings.
From admin center, I can go to the company
Company
set
settings.
company
Yeah.
settings, and from here I have to go to the configure
Business rules.
business rules. What I can do also, I can make it favorite. Okay,
Okay.
so so that I do not have to go there again and again, because suppose I will be
Yes.
writing, I am responsible for writing business rules, I will
Yes.
directly navigate from here, configure business rules. If I go there, you can see in your sales demo itself, we do have 897 business rules. Okay,
Okay.
already existing, people have created of their own. Okay, so but it may or may not be working because all are not tested, because it's a dummy system, right? Okay,
Yes.
and what you can see for each and every rule, okay, there will be a rule name, there will be a rule ID, there will be a scenario name, a rule type, base object, last modified by, assigned. So these are the different sections or the columns you will be seeing in a typical business rules. Okay. So
So
before
how do
we,
you know? How
yeah,
do you know which rule,
hmm,
which module the rule belongs to? Whether it's EC or recruitment or
yeah,
PG and all
yeah,
that.
yes, that's a nice question. So how to understand that? So what I will do, let me, before that, filter. So there will be a filtering option will be here. Just a minute. So before we go, you can see there is something called scenario. Can you see that filter, the top?
Yes.
Okay. So from here, there is an option. There is an option to filter. Okay. So you can see like from here by the description itself, you will be able to understand actually the rules belongs to which module. Okay. So you can see there are a lot of things which is saying absences. These are means that I think these are related to your time management. Okay, and suppose you are having specific to, let's say, offboarding. Okay, onboarding, offboarding. Okay, those are a specific scenario. Okay, then that also you can filter out here. Okay, and you can see that there are a lot of things related to time sheet, time account. Okay, so this is one of the criteria. Otherwise, there is another thing here. You can see the rule type. This is more user friendly. Can you see the rule type here?
Yeah.
Okay, suppose in the rule type, I would like to have see only the rules which are related to say personal information, because we are dealing with personal in employee central. We are not interested to look into onboarding, offboarding, or any other thing. Let's say we'll focus on our only personal information. Okay, so I'll just select that rule type as the personal information, then put it that way, then click go. So out of 897, now it is filtered to 17 only. Did you see that?
No, so what I want to understand is at the beginning, let's say you finish your requirement, you have done all the workbook, everything is ready, signed off.
Hmm.
Now you want to start configuration.
Hmm.
You will not have the benefit of these rules already in the system, will you?
Hmm. Yes, yes. You will not be having all these rules in place. Yes, true.
Exactly. So how do we start that? I don't know how to start
Huh,
that.
huh,
I'm just
huh.
saying, yeah.
I'll be coming to that. I'll be coming to
Okay,
that. Okay. So
okay,
first of all,
okay.
I'm just showing which is already existing. Okay.
Yeah,
Then we will, there is a plus button here. You can see
yeah,
we will start from here. Okay. So whenever I'm saying to create a new business rule, we'll start
yeah.
from here. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So before that, I will just show a couple of things. I will show you the structure. I would like to show the structure of the business rules. Then we will
okay.
jump into that portion. Okay. Okay. So whenever, is it clear? So you're understanding, right? Whatever I may
Yeah,
say.
I'm trying to understand the scenarios and then the rule type
Ah,
and then the base object. Just I wanted to understand more what
ah, ah.
the,
I'll come
what
to
they
that.
really.
So do not
Yeah,
worry. Okay, I will come
yeah,
to that.
yeah,
So before we go into the thing, so I'll just
yeah,
show you small example we'll start with. So first of
yeah.
all, let's say there is address change. Okay, suppose there is any address change, there should
Yes.
be an alert. Okay, so let me open that business rule. Okay, so let's say this is my business rule. Okay, which is already have been created, and the actually the scenario is basically, it is a basic scenario. That means it's a basic employee center related basic scenario. Suppose there is an address change. What are the possible value? Like home address. Okay, so there are one thing you will be seeing. One is if condition here, and it can be expanded also. You can, there is a plus button here. If I plus
Mm-hmm.
click that, it will expand. Okay, so in the if condition, what are the condition you'll be writing, and in the then condition, you will be writing what are the thing, who will be notified. Okay, suppose in case if you are having your address is changing. Okay, let's say something is equal to so your city changes or your pin code is changing or any kind of state level, any country changing. Okay, in that case, so your address has been changed, payroll and benefits will be notified. Okay, so your whoever the department will belong to the payroll and benefits, they will be getting notified. Okay, so that is our requirement. Okay, so how they have written, so simply they have came here, and in case your variable, so here in the variables option you'll be seeing, okay, there is no variable defined here, but in the if condition they have written these are the possible. So whenever your address, so what are the possible value, so you can see like it can be city, it can be the pin code, it can be the phone number, it can be the state, it can be the country. If anything is getting changed, that means your address is changed, and your payroll and admin department will be, or benefits department will be notified. Okay, so they will be raising a message. That means this alert will be created, and it will go to the respective department. So in this case, so how you are writing, okay, suppose this is a snapshot I will take here, or how whenever you are creating a new rule, how you will be writing. So here there is a, you can see this is a create new rule option is there. Otherwise, you can go back and from the plus button, whichever is there, from there also you can click plus button and you can write a new rule. Okay, the
Okay.
structure
So
is now you understood, right? The structure, how a typical structure of a business rules looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Hmm.
Okay, see, there are many lines.
Hmm.
There are several lines in this in the in this rule.
Yes.
So what I see the home address,
Huh.
model address
Hmm.
value is not equal to.
Hmm.
It's, most of them is not equal to,
Hmm.
and so on.
Hmm.
Um, why are they in several lines?
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to understand the different lines. Why are there several lines? Is one line not enough? And if one line is not enough, why do we write other lines?
Okay. Okay. So to explain that, let me duplicate this thing and I will tell you again. I will
Okay,
go to a personal employee profile, then you'll be able to understand better way.
okay,
Let me
okay.
go to the employee profile first. Let me check for this employees the address details.
Yes,
Okay. Suppose I'm choosing the address details here. Let's say
hmm,
home address. Okay.
okay,
And let's say I'm putting, can you see the screen? The address
yes,
screen? Okay.
yes,
United States. Okay. So whenever I am updating a particular profile in my address, I have all of these line items here. Okay. It may happen, okay, I may not change each and every field. Only I will be changing any one of this field. Let's say zip code only, or state code only, or country or city. Okay. So it is
oh,
possible, right? Okay. Suppose
okay,
let's say my country didn't change, my state didn't change, only some in the same city, I only changed my address 1 and address 2 and address 3. Okay. In
okay,
that case also there should be some trigger, right? You're getting my
okay,
point.
yes.
Okay. So for that
So,
reason,
so,
yeah.
so in that case, then the ones that we are not going to use, we indicate in the rules that this is address is not this.
Hmm. Yes,
Is,
yes.
is that
Yeah.
is that is that
So
is that what? Okay.
yeah, so there will be, so whenever you are updating the say address details, okay, so it will
Hmm.
check all the individual line items here. Okay, the state, province, address 1, address 2, address 3, whatever the line item, city, county, state, zip code. Okay, so everything is actually, you can see address 1, address 2, address 3, country, all these things are actually for that reason it will verify. And what does it says? A home address model address 1 dot value is not equal to previous value. Is not equal to previous value means that is changed, isn't it? Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you getting my point?
Okay. Yeah.
And this is a or condition. It is not saying and condition. If any of this or any two or any three, any four, any of this is getting changed, there will be a message or there will be an alert which will be created and it will go to the those respective payroll and benefits department, there will be notified. Okay, so
Hmm.
that is the conditions here. Okay, so in the if condition we are writing any of this, this is a or condition we have written, and then we are writing a rage message. That means there will be a address change alert to the payroll and benefits department. Okay, is it clear
Okay.
now?
Okay.
This is
So for each of those fields
hmm,
in the employee address that
hmm,
is not um,
hmm,
equal to the
hmm,
home address that we're trying to define,
hmm.
we will indicate it here,
Yeah, yeah,
and then we then raise the trigger. Will now be we'll raise a trigger to have send a notification to payroll and benefits if
yes.
if if any of them is changed. Is that correct?
Yes, if any of these changes is correct, yes.
Okay.
Suppose even if
Okay.
you're changing, suppose you are creating for the first time also, okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that in that case also, suppose I'm creating for the first time, okay, so
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
my previous value also it was blank, okay, then it will be not equal to the blank, okay, that means this condition will be valid and it will trigger the message for your address change related to the payroll and benefits. Okay, this is the way
Oh,
how we will be understanding this. Okay.
for the fields that we are using,
Hmm.
for the fields that we are using,
Hmm.
what happens to them even for the first time when we do, you know, there are two fields there, for instance, that are mandatory with the star, red star.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
What happens in the first? Is there a rule for that, or the rule is already built?
Okay. So whenever you are creating for the first time, right? So let's
Yeah.
say you're putting some values here, state,
Yes.
provinces, and address on everything. Okay. So
Yes.
in
Yes.
that case, it will verify because previously it was blank, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now it has some value. Okay. So you have some value. Okay. So
Okay.
against that
Okay.
value, previously it was
Yeah.
blank. So previous value. So here in this section, previous value is blank, and
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
currently it will hold some value. Okay. So in
Okay.
that case, it
Yeah.
is also in those cases, this line item will valid. That is, this is condition will be valid and it is not equal to the previous value because previous value was blank or zero or null. We technically we call it null, NULL.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now it has a some value. That means this current value is not equal to the previous value. Okay.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
means the condition is satisfied. So now this will raise a message or give an alert that there is an address change for this employee ID so and so. So the payroll and benefits department will be now notified. Okay. So is
Okay.
it clear now?
Yeah.
This is a very simple logic, or you may get a business rules. Most of the scenario, this is the most common scenario. Okay. So here, this is the basic scenario. Okay. Suppose if you are asking, let's say, change. There is also a change scenario option here. What is the meaning of it? Okay. So let's say change scenario for rule this. Okay. So suppose you would like to create a new scenario, like backup your data and scenario where, so you're as you're asking, so there can be different scenarios also. Okay. Like this is our basic scenario. Okay. So here we can see there are 84 different scenarios already there. Okay. So how to identify which scenario will be this scenario will belong to, because this is a very basic scenario. Okay, let's say I'll be having a scenario. These are all given by SAP. You do not have to create most of the things. Okay,
Okay.
so you can see there are different types of scenario like configure business rules for on candidate profile. Candidate profile is related to your recruiting module. Okay,
Yes.
so these are actually whenever you're writing a rule, you can categorize. Okay, so that in the future you will not be getting confused that which rules belongs to which module or which category or which scenario or group. Okay, so you can see there are many scenarios like job requisition, spot awards. This is the actual compensation related scenario. Okay, so you'll be finding a lot of things here. So effect on transfer date. Okay, so this is our employee central related. Okay, suppose there is a transfer is happening for a particular employee. What are the different conditions? Okay, so you have all inbuilt scenario already having here. Okay, you can choose either of this like event reason derivation. This is again a very common scenario which generally we get it. Event reason means your action region in the on-premise HCM. Okay, transfer, promotion, all those kind of event. Similarly, for email trigger, you can use this email template scenario. Okay, so there are
Can,
varieties of
can,
scenario
can you
also.
can you modify this system delivered scenarios? Can you modify them?
No, these are actually given scenario. That means we are not writing any rule. Okay, so just here what we are doing. Okay, we are just after creating a rule, we are just
Oh, okay.
assigning to a particular grouping. Okay, so here it doesn't mean. Suppose I'm saying generate alert. Okay, suppose I'm going
Yeah.
inside this. I have chosen this particular alert ECWF address message. I have created that rule. Now what I'm going to do, suppose I'm going to generate alert, I'll be putting this under this category called generate alert. Okay, then in the step 3 what we'll do, Step 3, I will go. Then it will ask when you are going to create this alert. Okay, let's say then you will be getting all the attributes here. Okay, so what are those attributes? Like your variable compensation, personal documents, job information, compensation. So these are the different attributes you'll be getting here. So let's say this is related to my let's say it is related to my whenever you're changing the address. Okay, so it is more related to your personal information related. Okay, so let's say this is my personal document information related. Okay, then I can put the step 4, like I will validate. Okay, so this is the way also you can suppose you would like to change the rules. Okay, so this is, you can see and there are certain conditions also. Okay, so whenever you can't assign all the rules to all the different scenario, you will be getting some results like this, because this is the address related message and I tried to put it somewhere else, some other modules. Okay, then you'll be getting this kind of error. Okay, so for that reason I will just cancel it. Okay, and I will go back to the main scenario and I will tell you, like there's some predefined things you have to perform. Okay, so this is whenever I'm doing address change, this is basically a basic scenario. This will come under basic scenario. Okay, so for that reason whenever I'm changing to some other scenarios and also it is giving some error. Okay, so in this way you will be understanding whenever you are creating some kind of rule of business rules. Okay, so you have to, one condition will be there in the if condition, then here as per your logic. So this business logic, it is a very straightforward. So here it doesn't require any requirements application. Okay, then you can go for the then condition. Okay, so in the then condition you'll be writing what are the how it will, if it is satisfied, what other things will happen. Okay, so this is how a typical business rules looks like, but you'll be getting more clarity whenever you'll be going through other business rules in the system. Also you can go through, suppose in the after that you'd like to change something over a period of time. Okay, you can come to the business rule and you can go to the tech action and simply you can make some correction. If anything modification also you can do it here. You can see now all the fields are editable. Did you observe that? Can you
Yeah.
see? Okay, so
Yeah.
now you can suppose you would like to modify anything, you can edit anything, you can add anything, add an expression or add a parent or child. Okay, all these things you can do from here after coming here. Okay, you can change. Okay, suppose this is my value, so this is now editable. Okay, suppose I would like to change something else here, I can. So all the fields, whatever the fields in the success factor you are having, right? Okay, all the fields will be, you can see all the here. At present we are dealing with address type. Okay, so for that reason under home address model, all the home related fields I can see. Okay, suppose I am having some other business rules specific to some, let's say your time management or some other modules. Okay, then I can select all those required field. Okay, I can type that and accordingly I can manipulate those value. Okay, so it is very flexible. You will be having all the success factor related fields you'll be getting here. Okay, whatever the fields you required, based on that if you like to do it, just changes and you can manipulate the values also in the right hand side. Okay, so here in the left hand side also you'll be having some values, in the right hand side also you'll be having some value. Okay, so accordingly you can manipulate and you can again now save it, and that rule will be run now. Okay, whenever there is any changes to that. Okay, so
So
any question?
once you save here, you go back to employee profile.
Yes, so whenever you are saving it, after saving it, okay, now this is now active. Okay, once this is rule is active. Okay, so in after that if you are doing any kind of changes to your master data in the people profile, whatever this kind of changes happening, okay, the system will trigger that message, all these things. Okay, is it here now?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, so now I will now
This
go
will
back.
require
Yeah.
a lot of practice.
Yeah, this require. I definitely agree with you. Okay, it is actually even people are generally employee central, as I was telling. Employee central itself is a very mammoth module. It's a very vast module. Different
Yes.
people go into different areas of their interest. Some people they take super specialization in RBP, role-based permissions. Okay, they take care only
Yes,
of security part of it. Some people
that's
who
right.
are expert in the configuration, they go for the generic configurations. Okay, whichever we
Yes,
have discussed in the last time and all, XML, all those, the upload. Some people go for only the data
yes.
specialist. Okay, so they
Hmm.
only deal with the data upload, data download, all those master data changes, all those things they do. Some
Yes,
people who are who love logics and all, they come to this area who will be only
well,
dealing with all kind of business rules, all. Okay, so there are different areas in employee central itself. Okay, depending upon the interest, different people go for, but at this at the age you're starting with, so the basic level you should know everything, a little bit of everything. Okay, so
yes,
that you'll be getting overall idea. Then after over a
yes.
period of time, let's say after 1 year or 2 year, if you like to go for, if you're depending upon your interest area, so you can go specialize, super specialize in a particular area, but it should know each and it should be like a T-shaped career, like go in depth in some area and go what you should be having knowledge of wider aspects of the entire module also. So because
Correct.
you do not know, like whenever there will be which module will which some module will be demand. Okay, so you should know everything. I will recommend.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is regarding your configuring business rule overall idea. Then whenever you're creating a new rule, simply, as I was saying, click this create new rule. Okay, so can
Okay.
you see that?
Yeah.
In the right hand side, I click
Yeah.
that new rule, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what I will do now, so to create a rule, expand a rule scenario category below and select the scenario. Okay, so these are the modules where exactly we can write the business rules. What are those modules?
Okay.
You can see benefits, contingent workforce management, document generation, position management, recruiting, reward and recognition, time, position management, onboarding 2.0, intelligent service. So these are the different modules we have, and you can see also there is a basic one. Okay, the example
So
which I have shown you previous one, that is also a basic one. Okay, so basic means
what's the
your
what's the meaning of EC core? Core.
which one? Okay, this one,
Employee.
Employee Central
Yes.
Core. Okay, okay.
Ye-
So okay, so this is again under Employee Central Core. It is very clear. You can see under EC Core we have these are different options we do have. All kind of workflow. Suppose you like to create a rule which triggers some workflow. Okay, that will come under here in the trigger
Yeah.
workflow. Okay, suppose you like to create an alert. Okay, then it will come under this. Okay, so any kind of job information changes. Similarly, for any kind of hiring or rehiring you're doing. Okay, similarly, any kinds of any you are having any employee ID you're generating. Okay, those number range and all. Okay, hiring, rehiring scenario. Okay,
Yes.
so in those cases you have to write this. Okay, so these are the different options we do have under Employee Central Core. Okay, so you can explore it more. Okay, so similarly we do have something related to basic. Under basic category it will come the basic scenario, like some small changes you are doing, application specific. Okay, that will come under okay of the objects. So here mostly in the EC core we use this trigger workflow, most frequently used. Generate alerts, most frequently used. Event reason derivation. Okay, suppose there is some kind of letter you are going to generate. Okay, offer letter on all those, appointment letter, all those things. Okay, so there are different options we do have. Also in the document generation you can see, like suppose you would like to generate offer letter or appointment letter for 20-30 people or 100-200 people, depending upon some suppose you are also generating the performance appraisal letter for all the employees who are eligible for this appraisal cycle. Okay, so all those things you can do from this different, depending upon a different scenario. Okay, suppose I'm going for a particular triggering a workflow. Okay, I can choose this particular scenario. Okay, as soon as I select that particular scenario, in the right hand side, did you observe that there is a trigger workflow window is opening?
Hmm.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, suppose then in that case it will ask for two things for me: rule name and rule ID. Okay, rule name is you can give some meaningful rule name, like let's say for the timing I'll put some uh, random name. Let's say just a minute, my keyboard is not working.
Oh. Okay.
I I do not know.
frozen.
It is frozen. Okay, anyway, so here you have to write the rule name and the rule ID. Okay, rule ID again. So I will give you an example from the presentation. Okay, then you start it and you click here to the base object. Okay, so base object in this case, let's say based on some, on which criteria basically you are going to change, your workflow will be updated. Okay, let's say in my case, let's say look based on I will take the example edge event reason or event region. Okay, so this is, let's say, it my base object and rule ID. Let me try it out. Now it is working. I'm just putting some random number. Otherwise, it's some meaningful rule you will be putting here. So after doing that, you simply click continue. Okay, now you will be coming to this window. Okay, if else condition, if then. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So here you will be given a blank slate. Here in the if condition, you can write what are the expression you can write here. Okay. So depending upon your conditions, you can write, say, let's say event reason is equal to value, and whatever you have already configured, those value will be coming here directly. Okay, so like completion of a, suppose I would like to trigger a workflow. Whenever there is a completion of a probation, there will be some trigger. Okay, so let's say completion of probation. Okay, so if this is the event, then I will write what, let's say for a particular change, let's say I will just put in some meaningful example here. Let's say as soon as you complete your probation, let's say you are eligible for some kind of benefits. Okay, so then I can just simply allow you, this is just a random example I'm giving. Okay, so in this way you can write. Okay, then you simply save it.
So this is like what, info type 41?
Sorry.
This is like info type 41.
Yeah, so basically like that only. Yeah, so you'll be having some, as soon as you complete your probation. Okay, so you'll be having some kind of notification for benefits. You'll be eligible for some kind of benefits. Okay, this is a simple, very simple example I have given here. Okay, so but more scenario I have given in the presentation. Okay, so let me now before we go there.
So so before you go, you, where you selected these rules,
Hmm.
um, is like the system. Are you saying that the system has provided us all the possibilities?
Yes.
We don't need to write new rules.
Yes.
We just have to
Yes.
go down to the drop down and pick the correct one.
Exactly, exactly. Suppose I would like to change anything or edit anything, I can simply, I can do it here. Okay, like okay,
Yeah.
anything I would like to add. Okay, I would like to add here. Let's say expression, another expression.
Yes.
Whenever I'm adding any expression, it can be or condition or it can be and condition, right? Suppose I'm putting would like to or condition. Okay, so simply automatically it will create this kind of mapping here. Okay, so I will just choose some other let's say along with the probation period, I would like to say also taking a employment status condition also. Okay. Suppose I'm choosing, let's say, employment status. Okay. You can see when as soon as I choose the employment status code, okay, so it will be like employment status here, external code. I can write. So if I remember the external code, then I can write it here like employment status can be your, as it is a text one. Okay. So you can write it here if you've remembered on from your employee central configuration. Otherwise, let's say I'll choose some other example. Employment status, I'm just putting here. Suppose I'm not putting any value, employment status, then automatically these are the different options I can get. I'm getting active. Employee should be active, or and he should be completed the probation period. Okay, or condition I'm just putting here. Otherwise, I can put an end condition depending on my requirement. Okay. Similarly, suppose I would like to add more condition. Okay, simply I will just put an add or all these options, parent or parent end. Okay, all these options I do have. Okay, and simply I would like, if I look delete anything, I can delete also. Okay, so these are different options we do have. You can play around it. Okay, but it
Yeah.
will come from practice only. So the more you practice and more you will be doing. Okay, it will over a period of time you'll be learning. But this is the main logic actually. So where you can write more and more conditions. Okay, so you can also drag and drop also. Okay, like here up and down you can do anything you'd like to change anything. Okay, so you can do all these things from here. Hmm, by changing all this. Okay, suppose your if condition is always true, irrespective of whatever the condition, you can, there is an option called always true. Okay, that means your if condition is always true, irrespective of whatever is happening, you will be having these conditions only for every employee. Okay, so in those cases you do not have to write anything. Okay, so if it is not, then simply you uncheck that, always true, uncheck that. Okay, then automatically it will go back to the previous thing. Okay, so there are a lot of things inside this business rules. It's the engine is very strong, so you'll be a lot of options will be getting here whenever you're writing a business rules. Okay, so we'll be learning over a period of time. Do not get overwhelmed. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is another thing I will suggest. So whenever you're putting the start date, automatically it will, the start date it will take in the system date. Okay, so generally you do not change it. Okay, so you can put it started as this one only. Okay, unless and until it's really something is required. Okay, we generally put the start date as whatever system date only. Okay, so this is how a typical rules looks like in a success factor platform. Okay, another thing I would like to say, leave it, business rules admin. Okay. So this is which is one of the rules which I was talking about. Same thing you can also come here from here also. There's a plus button. Okay. So you can, it will navigate to the same screen. Yes. So even if you're starting from here, it will take you to the configure business rules, same window it will take. And depending upon that, you will be writing your business rules from here. Suppose you like
Okay.
to write a business rules under document generation. Okay. Same
Yeah.
process. You have to follow rule name, rule ID, description, then continue. Then whatever the conditions you have to require, that conditions you have to just mention that in that expression, if and if else and then condition. Okay. So that is as simple as that, but it is very means not it is easier compared to the ABAP coding. Okay, so if you are because it doesn't require any kind of coding language. Okay, simply you have to think of the different scenarios and you have to write down the expressions. Okay, accordingly, then it will be much easy. Even people without any technical background also, I have seen there over a period of time they can write this business rules. Okay, so this is the overall understanding of it. Okay, you can go through each and every, I will recommend go through each and every concept from inside this scenario. Okay, and basically I will recommend to go through employee central core as you are dealing with the EC. Okay, document generation, email services. Okay, and position management also we can go through. Okay, so what are the things possible? Okay, so what are the things you can do in a position management module? Also there are some integration point also. Okay, You can go through all these things. Okay. Similarly, for time management, also we have a lot of the time schema, whatever we have seen in the on-premise, right? Similar things we can achieve it from here also. Absence validation, any kind of accrual transfer, any kind of period end processing. All these options we do have, like time set validations. So there are a lot of options we do have in the is a part of EC time off. Okay, but as I was saying, business rules are all platform functionality. You can okay, all these modules at present we support at present. Okay, so these are the options we do have. Hmm. Is there any questions regarding this? It's a I'm not going very detail about it. Whatever the options, because itself business rules itself, it will take 5 to 10 sessions. If you go each and every creating, testing, and all these things. Okay, just an overview is a part of this Employee Central. But I'm
Yeah.
sure the examples which I'll be sharing it with you, that if you go through those examples, those are the frequently asked, or in a typical implementation project or support project if you're working. Okay, those 100 business rules are golden examples which I have already documented. Okay, so quickly I will go through that if you do not have any question. Can you see my screen presentation?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Can we just can we go back to that that address employee address configuration that we were trying to do?
Okay, okay. You want to see that rule, or you want to go to the
It,
people
it,
profile?
the rule, the rule.
Rule, okay. Hmm. Address change, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, tell me.
So if I want to add, let's say, rule number 3, which is basically at the middle there, and I want to add it to be part of what I want to show in home address, what do I do to this particular row here? Do I just take it out, or do I modify it?
Okay, suppose you would like to change something or add something, right? Here.
Yeah, on this row number 3, I don't know whether you see my cursor. So I'm trying to see if I go to that home address model address 3 previous value, and I want to now include it. How do I take it out to make sure that it now becomes active in the employee profile?
Okay, okay. So in those cases, so simply you have to edit it here, take action, make correction.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, make correction.
Make correction. Yes, make correction.
Okay.
Okay. So then, if whatever changes is required, okay. So for
Yeah.
each and every line item, we do have pencil button. You can see all
Okay.
these are
Okay.
editable.
Okay.
Okay. We call
Okay.
it expression. Okay. We do not call
Yeah.
it as a line item. We call it expression because all of these are expression. Okay.
Yeah.
Simply you can come here and whatever you would like to do. Okay. You can delete it. You can edit it. You can add some additional expression inside it. Okay. So all these
If you
things are doable.
if you click delete, will it remove the entire row?
Yeah, so if I do, let's try that.
Yeah.
It removed all the entire row. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
The entire
All
line
right.
item will be gone. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know those processes. I've
Yes, yes,
not
yes,
tried it before.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yes.
good. Okay,
It's easy.
I got it.
It is
Yeah.
easy, but you need some little bit of hands-on is required. Okay.
Practice, yes, practice.
Practice and hands-on. That is more than enough. I'm just canceling it. I'm
Yeah.
not saving it.
Yeah.
Not save. Okay. So with that, let me go back. Any other questions do you have, Rai, while editing and all?
Just remind me again, what is basic as against
Hmm.
the other? When you said one is basic change and then basic scenario, and
Ah,
then there's the change scenario. What is the
ah.
difference?
Basic means actually this address changes comes under basic scenario. Okay. So change
Okay,
scenario generally we do not use it. But basically, whenever you are creating, automatically
yeah,
means SAP will tell this kind of activity will come under which module or which category. Okay. We generally
okay,
suppose in case so you wrongly you whenever there is an address change, you wrongly put
yeah,
it under some other scenario. Okay. So in
Okay.
those
Okay.
cases, you will be changing it. Okay. So
Yeah.
in those cases, okay. Another thing which I will say in the right hand side, there is something called collapse all and expand all option. Okay.
Oh,
Suppose
okay. Yeah.
you'd
Yeah.
like to see in the detailed rule. Okay. So simply you can click expand all. Okay. So now you can
Oh,
see the
okay.
expand entire rules you can see. Suppose you like to
Oh,
see the rule at a high level. Okay. So simply you
yeah.
can click collapse all. Okay.
Okay.
Then it
Okay.
means you can
Yeah.
see some at a very high level you can see if it is at the related home address and it's the then condition, else condition is this, then condition is this. Okay. So suppose if you like to see the more detail, you can always click the expand all. Okay. So these
Okay.
are the different things we do have. And other
Yeah.
than that, another thing which I would say, suppose you like to create a new rule, okay, and which is having very similar thing, but it is for only for Canada. Okay. Now this rule is for US. Let's say I would like to create a similar rule for Canada. Then I don't have to create the entire from scratch. Rather, I will copy it. There is a copy option. Can you see that?
Sorry. Yeah.
Copy.
Okay. Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
take action only, I went to the take action button. And from that, there is a copy rule option. Okay. So simply click that copy rule. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you following me?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the rule name, what I will do, I will just simply type out here EC address, then Canada, rule ID. Rule ID automatically it will taken care as if whatever you're putting rule name. But in case you want to change, you can also change it. Okay. Simply now
Oh.
copy.
Oh.
Okay. What I have done
Okay.
now, it is very similar though you have seen right in the payroll we generally or time management we copy the schema the standard schema and we
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
changes, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
now here what you can do. So this is suppose let's say for Canada. Okay. So I've done everything. Everything remains the same. Only thing is I would like to change my country. So in the home address
Oh.
model country, I will simply instead of United States, I'll put here as Canada.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So it is just
Yeah.
simplify. Suppose you are working in a multiple country environment. Suppose your
Yes.
client is having multi, but the principle remains the same. So simply you write it once and copy as many as times as possible. Okay. So now everything is remains same. Only thing is I have created new rule without spending much time. Within 1 minute, I could copy it and paste it. Only the first rule
Okay.
whichever I've written, I spent some time to apply my brain. Then I simply copied and pasted. Okay, then it will applicable for all the people who are belonging to Canada. Also, there will be some trigger will happen for them. Okay, so in
Is
this
there is
way,
there any is there any I don't know what is assuming I'm working with different provinces or different states and the
uh,
rules are almost the same but except one or two items. Can we also use this?
yes, you can do as per your requirement. Okay, so we call it county value or provinces, whatever the options you are having depending upon your states. Okay, you
Okay.
can do
Okay.
all those manipulations and you can use
Okay.
that, use these
Yeah.
functionalities. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so this is regarding your address change related fields. You can explore all the different rules. Okay, so it is
Yeah.
very in the sales demo, a lot of examples are there, but it is not validated. Okay, I'm not sure whether those are actually correct or not because I never
Yeah.
tested it in the sales
Yeah.
demo. Okay, so for that reason, whatever the slides which I have done, that is actually validated. Okay, which I will sharing it
Okay.
with you as I was saying. And as I
Okay.
was saying, 100 examples are there, but I will not be covering all the things. So I will just tell you a couple of things which are most frequently used. Okay, can you
Yeah.
see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Suppose this is a scenario. Suppose there is an employee who got terminated, and there is a rehire, and you are trying to rehire the same employee, and system should say that this employee has been terminated before, and it is a rehire case, and your workflow should trigger to the head of the HR. Okay, how will you write? So just the snippet I have written here, you can see. So like if it is equal to separation is an event. Okay, so event in that we have created, and the employee, whenever you are rehiring, let's say you are considering some of the criteria. The employee should not be blacklisted by the business unit. Okay, the
Hmm.
employee should not have taken the VRS, voluntary retirement. He has not taken, or
Yeah.
he or she is not flagged by the business unit. Suppose these are the
Yeah.
different conditions you would like to check. Then only you'll be checking some kind of rehire. Okay, so this is snippet. Okay, so snippet I have given here. The entire business rules I have not written. Almost
Yeah.
the main logic, the core logic I have given. In this way, you can.
Yes.
Okay, this is just to inspire you, like you will be getting motivated by this, seeing this all these possibilities. Okay,
Sure. Sure.
this is one of
Sure.
the business rules. Okay, similarly,
I would love to create an employee that I will be using to test. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, you know what I
you would
mean?
like to
I want
hire a
to
new
create,
employee, right? Is it? You want to hire a new
I want to
employee?
create I want to hire an employee into the system
Huh?
that I will use to kind of test rules
Yeah, you can
if
do.
there's,
So what you can do,
okay,
add new employees. It is as simple as that. Okay.
okay.
So simply click add new employee.
Can I copy a profile of a different employee?
No, as such, no.
Okay.
Okay, so generally what you can do, you go
Yeah.
to the admin center, add new hire. Okay, so you can do that, and from that you'll be going, you can create or add a new employee also. All those options are we are having. Okay,
Okay.
so here you'll be getting an option like I will tell you. Add new employee. Can you see that option?
Yes.
Okay. So as the other two options, you just ignore it. You do not have to do that.
Yes.
Add new
Yes.
hire to onboarding means if you are using onboarding, recruiting, all those
Onboarding
modules.
module.
Okay.
Module.
All these
Yeah.
three modules together. Okay. And if
Yes.
you are
Yes.
hiring, if you are only using EC, then you have to use this option. Okay.
Yeah.
Add new
Okay.
employee. But otherwise, if you are using recruiting, onboarding, then from the recruiting system, the candidate will be moved to the onboarding, and from onboarding, that candidate will be moving to the employee central. Okay, so automatically there will be integration. Okay, so you have
Yeah.
to build that integration, then you do. But if you're hiring from the scratch from the employee central itself, then you have to choose this add new employee option. Okay, so as
Okay.
soon as you click this add new employee, you'll be getting an options like this, from which date you are going to select. Okay, are you following me?
Yes.
Let's say I'm hiring from future dated, say from
Mm-hmm.
April 1st. Okay,
Yes.
company
Yeah.
name, let's say put it like Bestron, Bestron. All these are actually system given. Whenever you're seeing Bestron, these are actually
Okay. How do we know if they are US or Canada or Argentina?
Canada. I'll choose Canada. Let's say
Okay.
Bestron Canada. That is your
Oh, okay.
4,500. Okay.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
in the event region, this is similar to your X1 region. Okay, it's a
Yes.
new hire.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And hire template, I can use something like standard template. Okay.
Yeah.
Then click continue. Then you'll be getting all the information. Just
All these fields will be there.
you
Okay.
keep on filling like this. Okay, I'm not
Okay.
doing that. First name,
Yeah.
last name, all the biographical information. Okay, so all these
Okay.
things. Okay, but here
Yeah.
in this screen, you will be finding it is a external number. So you have to enter the employee ID. Okay, otherwise there is all the rules also, which automatic system also capability to generate those employee ID. Okay, so
Okay.
all
So
these
can
options
you
we
just
do have. Hmm.
enter any ID here?
Sorry, yes, you can do. You can just
Okay.
put employee ID here. Okay, and
Yeah.
it will create the same thing. Okay, I'm not doing that, but it is very simple. So it is not like
Yeah.
your PA40. So
Okay.
that you need
Okay.
some training.
Yeah.
Here it is, let's say, as simple as like creating a social media profile. Very simple,
Absolutely. Okay.
very
Okay.
simple.
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you can do
Yeah.
that, right, of your own.
Yeah.
You
I
can
can do
try
that
that.
on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, actually, I could have I forgot the simple thing to explain you earlier.
Yeah. Well, it's with a little bit of experience, I can ask those questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So now quickly, I will just go through a couple of things. I will
Yeah.
leave it to you. This slide center thing, I'll be giving it to you. Go through it. Okay.
Okay.
These are all sample model. Okay. I will just take you through a couple of only one or two examples, then we will stop. Okay.
Okay.
So let's
Yep.
say your work permit is expiring in within next 90 days. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
you want alert to be given, or you should want some message. Okay. So this is a simple rule. Like for a work permit, I have given ABC. So here it can be your company name underscore work
Mm-hmm.
permit. Then
Mm-hmm.
your work permit expiry is happening today. Base date will be today. and from today it will count the 90 days. Okay. So then system will say within 90 days, if this condition is fulfilled, then within 90 days, system will tell, after 90 days, system will tell your work permit is going to be expired. Okay, this is as simple as that. Okay, only thing is you should know this, what are the field name. Okay, so this is another example which I told you. The idea is to raise an alert message if employees work permit expiring within next certain days. So I've given a 90 days example. Suppose it can be 40 days, 50 days. Accordingly, simply the number of days you will be changing here. Okay, it is as simple as that. So with that, I'll just tell you some other example, which is
if I start writing the rules there, will it? And how will I know which? You know how we just created the country code just now? We change it to the country code.
Yes.
How do I make sure that the rule I'm writing applies to that country?
So what you can do, simply you hire an employee who belong to that country. Okay.
Yeah.
And you do the changes. Whatever, suppose you are doing some changes do some changes to that employee, then you will be getting some trigger. Okay. And you can put your own email ID against that employee's email ID. Suppose if it is related to the emails and all. Okay.
Yeah.
Then in that case, you can test it. Okay. But in the sales demo, I'm not sure whether it will work always or not, because I never tested. Okay.
Okay.
To be honest, mostly, but in the actual system, definitely, because that will be more clean system and you'll be having some kind of thing. But you can test it in the test. You can try it in the sales demo. Whether it is working or not doesn't matter. But you just try it in the system. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'll be giving another. It's the last example which I will give. This is a rule from whenever for a recruiting related scenario. So whenever a candidate is less than, the age is less than 18 years, and if he is more than 55 years, he cannot be hired into the system. Okay, suppose this is my business rule. This is the most frequently used. Okay, let's say how to write it. Okay, so in the system, you will be writing like this: if condition difference in years round down and difference in years round up. So how to know this? Round in, round down, and round off, all these things are existing. In the implementation guide, they have given all this formula. Okay, what are the different formulas we are having for which is for what? Okay, then simply from date, employee information, because it will all coming under biographical information, date of birth. Okay, so if he is less than 18 years or greater than 55, okay, then it should be giving some warning that please be courteous, that the recruiter will be getting a message that please be courteous that you are hiring a candidate who is either under 18 or over 55. Okay, it is as simple as that. Okay. This is a very simple rule, looks like a very simple rule. It will come under your recruiting category, or it will be also coming and it can come under your it is a combination of both, because it's a age related factor. Okay, verification of age and all. Okay. This is another business tools which I have given an example. Other than that, so let's say
I just need some little clarification on the use of else and then and else. Sorry. Then and then else. I think in some other, how do you use it? How do you apply those?
Yes. So basically, if it is happening, then it will happen. Otherwise, you can think of else. Else is a kind of a opposite. Okay. So like if it is not, then what will happen? Okay. So that is the thing here. Okay. So those usages you will be getting once you try using it. Okay. So you'll be getting, so here this is an example here I have given. People who are having 25 years of completion of a service, they'll be getting some award or reward or some kind of notification they'll be getting. So in this example, I have put it like 25 years of service. So I have counted it to the month, 300 month. If it is, then it will some trigger, otherwise not. Else means it's a kind of an otherwise to be equal to null if it is not. So this is some of the couple of conditions which you'll be getting. Suppose you would like to calculate the age of an employee from the system. Okay, so there is some calculations like you have to write these rules like because irrespective of a system, here in this condition, we do not have any else condition. So here
Yes.
only we have if and then, and if condition also, I have put it like this rule is always true. That means irrespective of whatever the conditions, we have to calculate the age of an employee. So for that reason,
Yes.
if condition, I have just ticked it because it's always true. I have to simply count for every employee in my system. I have to calculate the biographical information dot age to be equal to this. Then you should calculate from his date of birth. How system will calculate? Because age will be calculated from the date of birth. Okay, so from the date of birth till today date, you will compare the
Okay.
difference and it will
Yes.
store in this particular percentage D. Percentage D is a number. So in that number, it will calculate accordingly. So this is again interesting example. Suppose I would like to at any point of time, and the system should be able to calculate the age of an employee, it will
Yeah.
use this particular business rule. Okay, so these are all you have to write because these are not inbuilt in the system. Okay, so if depending upon your requirement, okay, so you'll be coming to know whatever business rules you are going to write. Okay, so again, once you write in a particular client, also you can use the same example in other projects also. It is a lifetime. Okay, whenever you are working in success factor, as long as you're working success factor, these are all universal. So it is not client specific. These rules, wherever you're writing, same
Yes.
principle, because the fields will remain the same: biographical information dot age. Okay, so it is very universal rules. Okay, you can apply
Mhm.
anywhere in the success factor.
Okay. Sure.
So similarly, if you are getting some alert, like for people who are completing 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25th years, okay, in the organization, then they should get some alert. Okay,
Mhm.
so some kind of message in their system. Okay, so this is the way
Mhm.
you can write. Okay, so I just
Okay.
compiled all these things. I will send it after this session. Okay,
Oh,
just go
thank
through
you.
it. It's a
Thank
long, I understand. Okay,
you.
but I
Well,
combined all the modules also, like recruiting, examples of different modules, so that in the future it will be very helpful for you. Recruiting,
thank you.
onboarding, related time management, employee central. Most of the examples are from employee central, like
Yeah.
almost 50-60 examples are from employee central. Okay,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
there are some examples also from other modules also. So all these
Okay.
examples, this I will edit it, and I will
Yeah.
simply after this session I'll be send it to you. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
just go through it, all the 100 examples. Okay,
Yeah.
so some of the examples may be very silly, small examples, or it can be small, little bit lengthy. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can go through it. If any question, you can always reach out to me. Okay,
I will do that.
okay. So with that, let's stop here. And
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, welcome. And just to give you an context,